right, guys. So what I have for you to start off with is a quick set of recap questions. I know that's excessively zoomed in. I just don't want you to rush and do everything all at once. So first question, I want you to work out for me the values of X and Y. You're doing this by yourselves, or you're giving it a try by yourselves, because essentially we've done parallel lines. We've looked at the basics of parallel lines. There should be nothing new or scary. So I want you to try these. Obviously, grade 8, if you have questions, please put them on the chat and we can help you. But this is very much what we have already done. On the chat, what I want to see is the answer as well as the reason, please. So exactly like Jason's put there, answer, reason, and the Bunzi's also put there so that we can see what's going on. Right. 2 minutes. You probably don't need any more than that. You probably don't even need 2 minutes, but let's see. And guys, remember you're looking for X and for Y. There's two letters there. I always forget to put an instruction. So remember our instruction will be determine the value of the lowercase letters. Right, would anyone like to raise their hand to give me either X or Y and the reason? So if you'd like to raise your hand to give an answer, you are welcome to. I see lots of answers on the chat. Would anyone feel brave enough to put their hand up to give me an actual answer? If not, that's absolutely fine. I will go through it. Okay, no takers. That's cool. Right, so guys, first thing we always do is we identify our parallel lines. So I've highlighted them for us in green there. That just helps me see exactly where my parallel lines are and potentially what shapes I'm going to use. Cameron, I did see your hand. If you are feeling keen, you're welcome to raise it to give us an answer. I'll give you a second. There we go. Cool, Cameron. X for us, or which one would you like to give us both, seeing it's only you?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
I said X is equal to 68 because of vertical opposite angles.
Good.
And then I said Y, since we found what X is, so I wrote it on the diagram for it to be 68. So I said Y is also equal to 68 because of corresponding angles.
Excellent. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
And guys, what Cameron said there, once you have an angle, put it on the diagram. The fact that we had X helped us get to Y. Okay, so you put it on the diagram, just makes life so much easier later on when you have to find other angles. But that's it. There was no working out required. You didn't have to think too hard. You literally just got X and Y. So just quickly recap. X was vertically opposite. See that cross shape there? X and 68 are vertically opposite to each other. And then the Y, oopsie, I've got this F shape, this backwards F shape. And so 68 and Y correspond with each other. And that's it. Those are your two answers. Joshua, do you have a question? Princess, do you have a question? You got it. There we go.
Okay, ma'am, I don't really have a question, ma'am, but then, oh, okay. No, ma'am, I was about to say you must not forget to put the the parallel lines.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Okay, so I picked that up as well. So guys, like Princess has just said, remember whenever we use a parallel lines reason, so here I use corresponding angles, we always have to state, as she's just told us, the parallel lines. Please remember that. Well done. Good pickup.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, guys, so hopefully nothing too tricky there. We all get that. We'll do screenshots in a second if you haven't already taken them. I want you to try question 2 for me. So question 2, there's just y that you're needing to find. Now remember, guys, once you found y once, y is y. Just because there's a y and a 2y doesn't mean it's two different values. Y is y. So we are looking for the value of y in question 2. And again, you are trying it by yourselves to start off with. Identify your Identify your parallel lines. You're feeling stuck, so AC parallel to BD, that's always a really good place to start. Again, I even like now with my grade 10s, 11s, and 12s, I told them, identify parallel lines. Good place to start, good place to see what you need to find. Remember, answers in the chat as well as the reason. Omfa, why are you saying sorry? So I've lost my mind. Nothing to be sorry about. Guys, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. We're struggling with this one, grade 8s. Oh, thank you, Omfa. Yeah, I felt like I just cut my elbow on this corner of my desk. I think I'm okay though. There's no blood, so I'm going to take it as I'm fine. I don't know. I just obviously did something very stupid. Grade 8s, can I get a thumbs up if we're okay with this one, or a thumbs down? I'm just not seeing any answers on the chat. So thumbs up, you're okay. We're just still busy. Thumbs down, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, it has got a decimal. So please don't stress about that. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes we do get decimals, and that's absolutely okay. Okay, guys, we seem to struggle with this one a bit, but that's absolutely fine. So there's actually 2 ways you can do this. If you have learned sum of angles in a triangle, you can do that. I'll explain that in a second. But because our focus is on parallel lines, that's what I'm going to focus on. So what I see here is I've got that U shape. Okay, so this pinky U shape, that's what I have. That's co-interior angles, which means that that 20 plus y plus the 2y, when I add them together, I must get 180. So y plus 20 plus 2y must give me 180 degrees. Remember, co-interior angles add up to 180. They're not equal, they add up to 180. And as Princess told us, always remember your parallel lines. AC parallel to BD. If you had said CA parallel to DB, that's fine as well. It means the same thing. Right, we need to solve for y. Hopefully we notice y and 2y are like terms. So 1y plus 2y is 3y plus 20 degrees equals 180. We're going to subtract 20 on both sides. We're doing inverse operations, giving us 3y equals 160. Again, inverse operations tells me that I need to divide both sides by 3 in order to solve for y. And so y is equal to 53,33 degrees. You round it off to 2 decimal places, it's 33. If you put the little dot on top of the 3 to show that it's recurring, that's absolutely fine as well, not a problem. Either way, that's what we get. Okay, so guys, if you have already learned in school sum of angles in a triangle, what you could have done is you could have seen the Z shape and said that this angle up here, D, is 20. And then you could have used sum of angles in a triangle, so this triangle DAB, in order to work out Y. And the reason I'm telling you this is because, again, if you had seen sum of angles in a triangle and the alternate angles, that's fine. You're going to get the correct answer. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with you doing another method as long as you apply the maths correctly. Cumber, 53,3 is fine as well. My advice though, read the instructions in your questions. If the question or the instruction sheet says round off to 2 decimal places, that's what you need to round off to. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So 53,33 for y. I think I saw a hand earlier, so I just want to double check. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to the third one that I want you to try? If you do, you're welcome to raise your hand. Otherwise, you're going to try a third one for me. Like I say, we'll take screenshots just now. Okay, I'm going to assume no questions. All right. So 3 is a fun one. And this is, guys, this is where geometry just gets so exciting. And I know that for some of you, this is the part of geometry that's really scary. But we just need to be able to break it down and deal with it step by step. Okay, so I'm not going to do this one with you. You're going to try it by yourself. What I am just going to do is I'm going to highlight for us our parallel lines, mostly because not only do we have that AB is parallel to ED, but we also have BC is parallel to EF. And there are 3 angles you're needing to find. You need to find the size of X. You need to find the size of Y. And you need to, your English today, you need to find the size of Z. So there's 3 angles I want answers for with a reason, X, Y, and Z. So let's give that one a go. You can do it, try it by yourselves. This line's going to annoy me because it's not straight. Try it again. Okay, so guys, don't try rush it. Often it's useful to start with X. You don't have to start with X if you don't want to. But give it a go. Give it a try. Remember, answers and reasons in the chat, please. You guys are doing really nicely. Just going to put a little reminder of our parallel line reasons at the bottom because I don't want us to make silly mistakes. Remember the F shape, where those 2 angles are equal, that is corresponding. The U shape, where if we add these angles together to get 180 is co-interior angles. And the N or the Z shape, where our alternate angles are equal, are alt angles. So please just remember that. Don't make silly mistakes. Okay, guys, I'll give you a hint. X is not 32. So if you're saying X is 32, I want you to go back and double check your working out. X is not 32. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes and then I'm going to go through it. Please just remember your reasons. Oh my gosh. So Kamva, the hint was X is not 32 degrees. You know, guys, what's really cool is that on the chat, some of you are doing things in different ways, and that's fine. It looks like all of them are valid reasons, and it's absolutely fine if you're doing it differently. All right. So what you need to focus on when I go through it is that your numbers, so the values of X, Y, and Z are correct. I'll try and give the alternates like answers as I see them, but as long as your answers are correct, your reasons are probably okay. All right, guys, let's have a look. So I'm just going to start with X. Like I say, like my instinct is just to go alphabetical, but it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to start with X. What I see for X is that it's in this U shape. And so it's a co-interior angle. So X plus 32 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And my reason there, co-interior angles. Remember, you need to state your parallel lines. So AB parallel to DE. I saw some of you started with Y. So said Y was 32 corresponding angles and then use angles on a straight line to find X. Absolutely fine. So we subtract 32 on both sides. So X is equal to 148 degrees. All right, so I know that. Got X, now I want to get Y. Now guys, there's two options for Y. Either you can use angles on a straight line, or you can see the F shape, and you can see that Y is equal to 32 degrees because of corresponding angles. Both, again, absolutely fine. Both will get you marks. So here my parallel lines again are AB parallel to DE. So I've got X, I've got Y, I just now need to get Z. So Y is 32. Now again, guys, lots of options for Z. So option 1 for Z was you could first see this Z shape and say, whoopsie, this Z shape. Okay, whatever, it's apparently going to fight with me, so that's fine. Say that this angle in here was 32 degrees because of alternate angles. And then you could have seen a second Z shape this way and said that Z and 32 are again alternate angle. It would mean two alternate angle working out, but absolutely fine. Right, if you didn't see that, because I'll be honest, I did not go with that. You could have also said corresponding angles. So here we've got like an upside down backwards F. That means Y and Z correspond with each other. And so Z is equal to 32 degrees corresponding angles. Now guys, just be careful, you're using a new or different set of parallel lines here. We're now using the fact that BC is parallel to EF. And this is where it's so important that you actually write down your parallel lines. Because we have two sets of parallel lines here, we need to be specific about which ones we're working with. Okay, so I hope we got that. Again, guys, if your reasons are a bit different, that's fine. there's often at least 2 or 3 reasons to an answer. As long as your numbers are correct, your reasons are probably fine. I have tried to give you the alternate solutions to them. So hopefully you were listening and that's all good. Right, so I'm just going to do, okay, just going to do that so that you can take a screenshot of all 3 of them. But guys, that is the same. That is essentially parallel lines, right? Looking at corresponding co-interior, alternate angles, all of those things that we need to be able to apply. So this was just a bit of a recap. I know it's taken half the lesson, but some of these questions were a bit tricky. But now we're going to have a look at some more questions in order to be able to deal with these. Before we do that, I think we'll take a brain break because you guys have done exceptionally well for the first half an hour. So guys, screenshots, if anyone has any questions, now's the time to raise your hand and ask me. Otherwise, we'll take a brain break. Okay, grade 8s, no questions. I'm just double, triple, quadruple checking. Good, excellent. Okay, so sorry, I'm panicking. Right, brain break. So remember the goal, I want an answer to this last equation down here. Yolanda and I both know what the answer is, so we wait in anticipation to see who comes up with it first. Remember, the first person who gets the answer right can explain it for us. You can enjoy the math stroke as well while you do it. Let's see what we get. No, Tato. On it. Okay, so guys, Tato is on it. Tato, do you want to raise your hand and explain it for us? Tato, you want to raise your hand to explain it for us? You got it right. You're the first person. Oops. Okay, let's hear it.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Okay. I was too quick with this one. I want to sleep. Ma'am, for the first one, there are 3. I called it lightning or thunder, whichever one you prefer more. I saw that there were 3 of them, so I said 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I ended up with my lightning being 4.
Perfect.
Then for number 2, I looked at this one. There isn't really a logical way that I got this, but I looked at it and I said, I started guessing. I started off with 5, 5 didn't work. Then I said 10. So, and apparently that worked. I had 10 times 40 plus 10, which is 50.
Yeah.
So the kind of cloudy one would be 10.
Good.
Then I did a whole inverse operations thing with this last one here. So I said 35 minus 10 is 25. And because there were 2 of these rainbows, I said 25 divided by 2. Well, not divided by, 25 square rooted since it's times.
Nice, nice, good.
So I got the rainbow being 5. And that's would make the last one at the very end. I didn't write this down. I used my calculator for this last part.
Okay. So 10.
10 plus 2 rainbows, another 10. 10 plus 10 times 8, I think it was.
Yeah. What do we do
And
first?
then we started off with multiplication. So 10 times 8 plus 10.
Perfect. And that gave us the 90 that Teto said. Nice, Teto.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so guys, just quickly, because Teto in the second step was like, I just sort of went with it. That's cool, because I'll be honest, I just sort of went with it as well. But if we think of it in terms of an equation, so if we look at the second step, remember what you knew from the first step was actually only the 4. Now, if we assume that these clouds are x, we know that x times 4, and I'm just going to do it down up at the top here. So x times 4 is 4x plus x must equal to 50. Now, x plus 4x are like terms. That would end up with 5x equals 50. And solving my equation, x is equal to 10. We said the rain cloud, not rain clouds, what is it? I don't know. Overcast clouds was x. So I've just worked out that these are 10. So you can use your knowledge of equations to go and find your unknown values if you want to. Right, very nicely done, Teto. Woo. All right, guys, let's get into some geometry. I have a lot of questions here, so I'm just going to sort of have a look and see what I actually want us to start off with. So just ignore me for 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Okay, let's just start with question 1. I'm happy with question 1. Okay, so question 1, let's have a go. I fully acknowledge that I'm missing some labels on my line, so I'll just add some labels for us. A, B, C. Okay, so try question 1 for me. Again, you're looking for X and for Y. Shouldn't take you too long. It's quite a nice, easy one to start off with. Ugh. Remember, guys, your answer as well as the reason that you used to get to that answer in the chat, please. So what do you mean? What do you need a few more seconds for? Ay, ay, ay. Your quickness was your downfall. Oh, it's gone very dark. Let me put on a light. Tato, now you know you don't start the brain break until like 2 minutes after I've given it to you. Good, guys. Liking these answers I'm seeing so far. Remember your parallel lines with your reasons, please. Thank you to the people who do both answers together. Makes life so much easier. It's not wrong that you do them separately. It does just make life easier for us to see. All right, does anyone want to raise their hand to give us either X or Y and explain how they got there? Hey, Lesedi.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, so I got X. I said 60 degrees plus X equals 180.
Good.
And then after that, I took the 60 to the back, and then which is the inverse, which I said X equals 180 minus 60,
Excellent.
which equals to 120.
Perfect.
Which,
And what was your reason?
ma'am, my reason was, is co-interior angles correct?
Perfect.
And then for Y, since like there's an F shape, I just said Y equals 110 because of corresponding angles.
Excellent. Well done, Lesedi.
Thank you.
Okay, so guys, exactly that. Nothing too stressful, nothing too complicated. I did just realize that I haven't actually highlighted the parallel lines, so hopefully you've all seen the shapes Lesedi was talking about there. If not, AB parallel to CD. What that meant was then we've got this U shape where we can work with the X and the 60, but we have also then got, okay, cool. The F shape, which means Y and 110 correspond with each other. Right, so I hope we got those two answers. Let's have a look. Okay, take your screenshots and then I'm gonna shove over. Right, let's have a look at number 2 here. Now this one, you've got X, Y, and Z that you need to find. So there's 3 variables that I need answers for. So just bear that in mind. X, Y, and Z, please, with reasons. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Remember, if you're feeling stuck, start by identifying where those parallel lines are and then looking for the F, Z, and U shapes, and then go from there. You don't have to start with X. You can start with any letter you want. The only time you have to go alphabetically is if we tell you to. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. Jason, when you say switch the parallel lines, do you mean instead of saying DE, you say ED? Or do you mean instead of saying CB parallel to DE, you say DE parallel to CB? Because both are fine. If you swap the letters within the line label, so DE and ED, that's fine, it's still correct. If you said CB parallel to DE, yeah, no, Jason, that's fine. You shouldn't be getting them wrong. They are, it means exactly the same thing. It's just a label. We try and do it alphabetically, but it's not wrong. Sure. Now, guys, again, there's lots of different ways you can do this question. So it very much depends on what you're seeing. Okay, so guys, Tato's put there on the chat, can we use exterior angle of a triangle? I'm absolutely fine with you using triangle reasons. So if you're going to use sum of angles in a triangle, if you're going to use exterior angle, I have no problem with that. If you've learned it and you're comfortable with it, go for it. I'm not going to use them in my answers just because we haven't done them together, that I've got no issue with it. By all means, go for it. Okay, so guys, when I do go through the answer, I will just try and mention the other ways to do it, because there are quite a few and they do use triangle reasons. But because we haven't done those yet together, I'm not going to use them in my answering. But I have no problem with you using them because you will get it right in a test. Okay, so guys, remember on the chat, questions and answers, that's it. Let's try remain focused for these last 16 minutes. I'm going to give you another minute or so, and then I'm going to go through it. Right, grade 8, let's have a look. So remember, first thing I'm always going to do is I'm going to identify my parallel lines. So DE or ED, doesn't matter, is parallel to BC or CB, doesn't matter. Okay, now again, I am going to only use the reasons that we have learned so far. I am only going to use the straight line reasons. I will explain the triangle reasons briefly, but I'm not actually going to do them properly because we haven't done that yet together. Okay, so guys, I am going to start by finding y actually. So I'm not going to start with x just because at this current point I don't actually have enough information to find x straight off the bat. So I'm going to start with y. So in order for me to find y, what I see is that I've got this Z shape or the zigzag shape along my parallel lines. And so what that means is that y is equal to 57 because they're alternate angles. So nice and easy, y equals 57 degrees and my reason alt angles. Okay, state my parallel lines, DE parallel to BC. That's it. Nothing too complicated there. I'm going to fill in that I know this is 57 so that I'm done. Once I've done that, I'm now going to go and actually find x. The reason I'm going to now do x is because now I see I've got the sideways f. Nope, sorry. The reason I'm now going to do f, oh golly, okay, I'm trying to do too many things. Let me start my sentence again. I am going to do x. right? I'm going to do X because I see that I've got angles on a straight line here. X, Y, and 71 are all adjacent angles on a straight line. And so what that means is I can use my straight line reason. So X plus Y, which we know is 57 because we've just worked it out, plus 71 must be equal to 180 degrees. My reason, angles on a straight line. Right, now guys, there's lots of different ways you can solve this. Honestly, at the end of the day, as long as you get X alone, you do you. So I'm just going to add 57 and 71 to start off with because they're like terms. So that gives me X plus 128 gives me 180. When I subtract 128 on both sides, I get that X is equal to 52 degrees. All right, so this angle here, X is 52. I've got X, I've got Y. Now I'm going to use that F shape that I was getting myself all confuzzled about. There's the sideways F. I can therefore see that Z and X correspond with each other. And so Z is equal to 52 degrees as well. My reason, corresponding angles. There's no A. B, C, parallel to D, E. Okay, so we've got X, we've got Z, and we've got Y. Now, guys, again, there's different ways. There are a few different ways that you could have found some of these angles. And again, I'm just choosing not to do it because we haven't done triangle reasons yet together. But for example, you could have found Z by working with angles in a triangle. So you could have used CDB as your triangle, and you could have used angles in a triangle to find Z. That's no problem. You could have used, once you found Y using alternate angles, you could have used exterior angle of a triangle to work out X, or vice versa with Z, with Y. There are different ways that you can do this. I've just not chosen, or I'm not doing the triangle reasons because we haven't done them yet. Okay. Just be careful. Z isn't equal to Y. You could have, however, gone and done co-interior angles and said that angle Z plus Y plus 71 must equal 180 because those are co-interior. So you could have used co-interior angles there, but remember Y is not equal to Z. Z is equal to X. Okay. $71. Okay, so, oh, right, there we go. So grade 8s, let's just take screenshots of these first two that we've done. And while you're taking screenshots, if you have any questions, please, now is the time to ask me. And then we've got time for one more. So I'm going to pick a nice one before we do, or for your last one. Okay, but again, you're taking screenshots and you're asking me any questions that you may have, please. Okay, I just want to see what other nice juicy ones I have here. Right. I'm just going out of order. It's fine. I over-prepared. I want you to try this question. You can number this question 3 if you want. You have got 4 angles you need to find here. So let's just be very clear about what we're trying to find here. We are trying to find angle A. We are trying to find angle D. Maybe I should go alphabetical. So angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. So there are 4 angles that I'm asking you to find the sizes of here, A, B, C, and D. And take note of the fact that your parallel lines here are TS and PR. Those are the parallel lines that you're working with. So I want the angles A, B, C, and D. I'm going to give you 5 minutes and then I'll go through it. Oh, golly. Remember, you don't have to start with A. You can if you want, you don't have to. And again, grade 8, I'm absolutely fine if you would like to use triangle reasons. I've got no issue with that. Just bear in mind that when we do the answers, I won't be using those reasons. I will be using only the straight line reasons that we have looked at. And again, I have no problem if you don't want to start with A. That's fine. You can if you want, you don't have to. Remember your reasons, please. Okay, we don't want to lose silly marks because we've forgotten our reasons. That would be very sad. Joshua, are you asking me if it can be negative? If you are, no. Your angles generally should not be negative. We don't actually work with negative angles in geometry, really. We do it in trig, but not in geometry. And we don't do trig yet in grade 8. Two more minutes. Okay, Cameron, I'll give you a hint. If you have A and you know that UST is 48, think about what 48A and D, what their relationship is with each other. Okay. Let us have a look-see. Right, guys. So I'm going to start with A. You don't have to have started with A. Up to you. So A, I'm seeing this U shape. It's a very weird looking U shape, but it is a U shape. So that means that A plus 154 degrees must equal 180 because of co-interior angles. Oh, Siva, nice. I like it when we get all our answers together. ST parallel to RP. Right, subtract 154 on both sides of my equation, and I get that A is equal to 26 degrees. So I fill that in on my diagram. Once I have an answer, I always fill it in. It's going to help me. Right, I'm going to go alphabetical. So if I now go to B was this greeny color. I see an upside down backwards F shape. And so what that tells me is that B and 48 correspond with each other. So B is equal to 48 degrees. Nice and easy corresponding angles. That, yeah. But I'll spell corresponding there for a second. And again, state your parallel lines. ST is parallel to RP, or PR, doesn't really matter. So now I know B is 48. Still need to find C. C, I can see I have alternate angles here. I've got that Z shape. Cool. So A and C are in alternate positions to each other. So C is equal to 26 degrees. Alternate angles. ST parallel to RP. And then finally, I have to find D. Now, guys, there's lots of different ways to find all of these angles. So if your reasons are different, that's fine. I've told you this before. I'm just using the straight line reasons that we know. So for D, I would say D plus 28, nope, plus 26 plus 48 is equal to 180 because of angles on a straight line. If you use sum of angles in a triangle, because I said to you that you're welcome to use your triangle reasons, that's fine. But then you get D is equal to 106 degrees. Right, so those are the 4 angles you needed to find. Yes, definitely some of them could have been done another way, and I'm absolutely fine with you having done it another way. What I need you to check is that your numbers, A is 26, B is 48, C is 26, D is 106. Then, like I say, there's definitely other ways to do it. But these are the ways that we do using our straight line geometry reasons.